right, back at it here at the desk in Studio G. I'm glad to have you here. Growing this thing every single day, I need you to follow me on X. People call it Twitter. I still call it Twitter, but you got to call it X. Otherwise, Elon gets upset. We don't want to upset Elon. Right. Meanwhile, people that did not get the memo think that it's time for more government, more regulations, more onerous problems from the left. No, but in lame duck and Lansing, they want ranked choice voting, national popular vote, all sorts of crazy ideas going on there. State Representative Graham Filler is with me. Graham, good to have you back on the program.
Yeah, appreciate you, taking on some of this big stuff. And, you got to shine a light on the bad stuff. And that's what you're doing. So that's what we're going to do with you.
We got to do it. Mr. Filler. And so what crazy ideas do we have today? I mean, national popular vote, terrible idea. Ranked choice voting, worse idea, if that's possible. Those are both terrible, terrible ideas from the mind of some socialist somewhere. What else do we have? You know what we're not doing? We're not fixing the damn roads. I know that. My roads aren't good. We're not making batteries at a GM plant we gave billions of dollars for in Lansing. Apparently, we're going to sell that to LG. More money burned up. We might as well just have a big old 55-gallon drum and turn it into a burning barrel and dump taxpayer money into it. I mean, things are going swimmingly well in Lansing, aren't they?
It's one of two things. I can't quite tell right now because I sit on these committees, right? And before a bill gets turned into law, it usually has to go through a committee. And a bunch of really, really bad bills have sat in committee for a long time. And there's a reason they sit, because they're politically toxic and because there might not be support for both sides of the aisle, and especially from the Dem majority. So now all of a sudden those bills are popping up, right?
Yeah.
You say, well, why are you doing that? Well, maybe because it's so politically toxic to run those bills before the election. And so they were like, we're not going to do it. Well, now all of a sudden a lot of those bills are passing. So that leads me to my next question, which is, are they actually going to try to run those bills? Or are they just doing that to appease, some out-of-state interest or some, big donor or something? And I can't quite tell that answer right now.
I can't quite tell the answer either. Here's what I can tell you. Republicans are going to have a real opportunity again in 2 years. Obviously, we're going to try to block these crazy ideas because let's just hope, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, let's just hope that one of the members of the Democrat Party in the State House has a terrible bout of the flu for the next 2 weeks. Because if they can't, nothing serious, just the flu. If they can't show up, they can't vote. They got to have 56, right, to get any of this nonsense through. Let's hope that they don't have 56. And then in 2 years, we will have a real opportunity as a state to correct these issues of Gretchen Whitmer. The roads never got fixed. We didn't go anywhere. We spent billions of dollars to bring in new jobs. We didn't get very far with that either. We're losing population. We're raising the income tax when states like Tennessee and Florida keep getting people that are moving from Michigan because they want no income tax. They want real opportunity. I mean, where am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. And here's the real problem, because I spend a lot of time with my Democrats on the other side of the aisle, because that's what you do. You should talk to everybody, right? And they felt so much pressure because they've been in the minority for so long to sort of take care of the groups that they talk to most, unions, trial lawyers, environmental groups. But instead of asking the question, hey, is this policy right for the state of Michigan? They instead just ask the question, what does this group need? Because this group has, not had their wishes taken care of for many years. And out of that, you got a lot of bad policies. So let's just talk real quick about some of these anti-public safety policies. Man, we got full-scale bail reform that mirrors California and New York, which just says when an individual commits a crime, a lot of times low-level stuff, a judge can't do bail. And that's what New York tried, and that's what California's tried. And it turned out really bad when you tell people that their crime has no accountability. Yeah. People who want to commit crimes do it, and then they come to your state. They left one out there.
Let me ask you about something else here. Speaking about crime and so forth, and people being drawn into a place if there's not much penalty. Well, and there's the risk versus reward kind of an analysis. What about what we're going to do after January the 20th, when the administration that's coming in, the new Donald Trump administration, is going to target for removal from this country criminal aliens, first of all, and then many more after that? Is Michigan going to, cooperate? Are the jurisdictions of Michigan going to cooperate? Are they going to try to fight federal law? I mean, there is the fact that the federal law would dictate that they get to decide who stays and who goes, right? Are we going to cooperate? Is Governor Whitmer going to cooperate? She wants to run for president. No question about that. We all know that. So what does she do?
Yeah, I think the Democrats are having a little bit of have to have a soul-searching movement when it comes to public safety and when it comes to immigration, because instead of just saying, hey, we need to do something, and let's talk about the Biden-Harris administration, we need to do something. I mean, they wouldn't even go down to Texas. They wouldn't go down to Arizona. You couldn't get an answer from anybody, and you couldn't get them to say there's a problem. And everybody knew there was a problem. So, okay, that was one of the major things that Trump ran on, which is we need to do better on immigration. It's a public health issue. It's a public safety issue. Do the Dems start to acknowledge it as they go through 2 or 4 years of soul searching? Your guess is as good as mine, right? And Gretchen is probably a really good bellwether because she's not dumb.
Oh, no, she's a very talented politician. There's no question about that, Graham. I have no question. Right, Gretchen Whitmer is going to run for president. She's going to do it. She's got a team together. She has the money. She can raise money. She can fund it. She can do it. And she has to be politically smart and astute about that. So what is she going to do? And you're right. She might be a political bellwether because what she does might be an indication of what other Democrats are going to do. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, you got it. So if I was an advisor for Gretchen Whitmer, I'd say the people in the state of Michigan and the country voted for immigration reform. It's time to provide them that. Now, the hard part for Gretchen is that she instantly faced pushback from the very progressive elements of her party and mayors who might be drawn into this. And they might fight her, and then they wouldn't back her for president. So you're looking at a really interesting 2 years of will Democrats listen to what the people of the state of Michigan and what the country want.
Yeah, we'll see. State Rep Graham Filler of Michigan here with me today. Sir, greatly appreciate you being here. I hope we can get through lame duck without any lame policies being put through that are pretty terrible. Anyhow, sir, thank you.
All right, sir. Have a good one.
You too. There you have it. Plan to release these criminals. We don't want that. No, we don't want that. This part of the program brought to you by Wolverine Water Systems, here for more than 75 years. Wolverine Water Systems, Michigan's best water. Find out more at WolverineWaterSystems.com. WolverineWaterSystems.com. Guess who's next? Ivy is next. I'll be right back.